Hi, it's Cookie Metzger from foodfortheages.com. It's summer here at 7,000 feet above sea level in Norwood, Colorado, and we've got lots of fresh things growing here. It's tomato season, and tomatoes are starting to come in, especially if you have a hoop house or hothouse around here. So let's make gazpacho. For our gazpacho, we'll be using some beautiful Roma tomatoes I got at the Fresh Food Hub, some leftover cucumber and fresher cucumber, a clove of garlic, some green pepper, some parsley. I'm going to be using, in lieu of tomato juice, some very veggie. That'll really pump up the flavor. It's got all kinds of vegetables in it, as well as tomato juice. Of course, we have to do a boiling water bath for our tomatoes. We mark them first with an X on the bottom. You can remove the stem. Time me. I'm going to add water. Okay. You don't want to cook your tomatoes. You just want to. Here's our ice water bath right next to our, where we're into boiling water, into ice water will help remove the skins. Like, just squeeze them out sometimes, as I just showed you from the bottom. Pinch it up. Gazpacho soup is good with a piece of crusty bread, and we are lucky enough in our town to have bluegrass bread nearby. We make it beautifully. It's a real artisan loaf. And so we'll be serving that with our gazpacho. Look at that, easy. We are going to chop the tomatoes. Okay. White so you can see a little better. See how I do things. It's nice and clean. All right, so I will put all of this over here. I'd say it's a generous 3 cups of tomatoes. Do about half this green pepper. To tell you that I got a pepper, an Anaheim. Okay. All right. Now, I have a bit of old onion. I'm only going to use about a 1/4 cup of onion, and I'm going to try to salvage what I have. This is a sweet onion. There might not be much good left in it, but I try to use up whatever I have in the kitchen. In fact, these tomatoes had to be dealt with today, and they're thus the gazpacho of today. But don't use the dry old bits on your onion. Make sure it's the fresh part. Yeah, has a nice scent to it. right. Okay. In case you haven't seen this, this is how we're looking so far. Okay. This is a mild pepper. It's one that's stuffed for chili rellenos, and it's a about a quarter of an Anaheim. Counters and self. Okay, so garlic. Got far. I've got garlic, onion, Anaheim pepper, 2.5 cups, I would say. Okay, so I had this little bit of cucumber left, and gazpacho is a great way to use up what you have in the way of cucumber. And you can leave a little bit on, or in this case, since this is I'm using up an older piece of cucumber, I'm going to kind of strip it down. So I get the dried bits off. Okay. And then this is a supposedly seedless cucumber, but you can see even in a seedless cucumber there are seeds, so not very well formed ones, but so you just take those out with a spoon. Oops. This isn't going to be quite enough cucumber. So here you are. You put most of it into your, so we have, that's what we've got going now. This little leftover I'm going to save for a garnish. For later, or you could also do sprigs of beautiful Italian flat leaf parsley or the curly, it doesn't matter. The next thing we add, that's all the vegetables. So now it's time to add the tomato juice, and I'm going to shake this up a little. It's very veggie. I will add 2 cups. 1, 1 and 2. Oh, this is so beautiful. Look at this. Don't you just want to eat that? I do. Okay, so I've added 2 cups, maybe a dash more, because I added a little extra tomato. Give it a nice soupy consistency. Our next step will be to add some olive oil. I'd say 2 tablespoons. Just drizzle it over the top. 2 tablespoons. The oil will help carry the flavors through the soup. That's why you mix it in and you refrigerate it for a little while. Okay, so you can either use red or white wine vinegar or sherry vinegar. In this case, I'm going to use red because I'm a red wine person. And I'm going to put 2 tablespoons in. Just gives it a little tang, a little zip. Then the next thing we're going to do, we're going to add some salt. I would say for this amount of vegetables, since they're all fresh, we'll start with a teaspoon. Don't overdo it. You can always add, or your guests or whoever's eating the soup can add fresh ground pepper. I use a combination pepper of different colors, and it's very flavorful and delicious. Okay. See this beautiful soup? It's gorgeous. It has a beautiful sheen of olive oil on it. And I'll try a bite. I would say about 8 hours. Or if you need to use it tonight for dinner or this afternoon, you can serve it right now. But it's good if you let it get cold